Today, we will quickly profile some of the most influential influencers and podcasters of 2023. We believe Ben is having aims we call competence and family. Competence is shown as he clearly cares about his expertise level. He also is open about his prioritization of his wife and kids, though he admits kids get more interesting to him after the earliest stages when they are a bit more developed. Ben has an ambition drive which can be seen in his sheer volume of output. He is consistently working and there seems to be little to no separation between his personal life and professional life. He tends to bring the personal into his discussion on his show. Ego is another primary drive for Ben. He seeks recognition. We can also see very strongly developed principles, as he claims that his positions are the only viable ones. Recently, he was willing to burn bridges with Candace Owens, due to her perspective on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Secondary greed is also likely, as he focuses on heavily monetizing most of his activities. Brent's life priorities or aims in the MindHub system are intimate and fun. Intimate aim is concerned with the search for a significant other and activities revolve around romantic interests. Fun is being directed toward variety or novel sensations. In his videos, he likes to date lots and lots of girls, searching for the one. Brent has a primary lust drive as he is drawn to some reckless behaviors. It's quite noticeable how much he likes to wreck stuff in his videos. However, in Brent's case, lust is combined with a polar drive called compassion, which means that though he might be drawn to destruction, he doesn't want to hurt people and will feel the need to compensate others if he does. If he demonstrates any kind of insensitivity towards his dates, he is later inclined to treat them overly well. He is also having a primary boredom, doing many activities at the same time and changing activities whenever he feels like it. Candace Owens is tough but petty. Her aims are finance and family. She talks about both very frequently on her podcast, and she is particularly proud of herself for the way she was able to raise up monetarily, paying off her debts and generally acting smart in the realm of financial decision-making. Her resentment drive is obvious as she often criticizes other people with an air of annoyance. She gets angry about even quite trivial manifestations of what she dislikes about the current culture. She has primary ego, carefully cultivating her appearance and wearing designer clothes. Candace centers the podcast around her own very strong opinions, and her personal reactions, self-referencing for the majority of her segments. She also has primary ambition, as she is constantly working, releasing content daily, and works on accomplishing her own goals. Candace seems to have secondary greed which combines very well with her finance aim. She clearly has a healthy respect for money and love of material things. Charli is relatable as fuck. That's her brand. While the aims are somewhat obscured by her present focused nature, we can see she has her friends and intimate relationships continually on her mind. As for the drives, we see primary lust as she reacts provocatively to mundane things and wants to be seen in a sexual way. It's clear she has primary boredom as well. Most of her activities are not directed toward any larger goal, with the notable exceptions of dancing and singing. The majority of her social media clips are geared toward random shenanigans with occasional visits from famous friends. Charli also exhibits a primary regret drive, which becomes obvious as you listen to her speak. She is worried about whether she is making the right choices and can be self-recriminating and doubtful even while considering simple matters like following a recipe or making crafts. Elliot is a meme maker. He is responsible for some of the funniest memes you've encountered online in the last 5 years. His aims are family and competence. He plans everything with his wife and is very careful about team expansion and management. His primary ambition marries nicely with his aims, and he spends the majority of his time doing what he does so well, captioning funny pictures. He also shows primary boredom, as he has said this business came about because he had nothing better to do. He also still pursues many side activities during his long work hours. He also has primary attachment, as he has said and shown that loyalty to his closest friends is paramount, and credits close friends with his successes due to their strong support. Emma is well known as one of the most fashionable people on the planet. We think Emma has extreme ego in the MindHub system, which is nicknamed arrogance. Emma is completely confident in her taste and that what she says is good and what she says is bad. She seems unable to move past her own opinions, particularly aesthetic ones, and talks almost entirely about what she likes and dislikes with little reference to anything else. Boredom is also evident in her vlog as she shows and narrates mundane activities like eating in her car or grooming to prepare for some event. Regret is likely her third primary drive, which in combination with boredom, is often expressed in complaining or whiny behavior. She often verbalizes when she feels trapped by expectations and feels pressured by things she freely agrees to do in the first place. Ethan Klein is super chill and great at making money. His aims in the system are finance and intimate. He will go toward monetizing anything and everything he can as long as his partner Hila is on board. Recall his quest to market his own feet on OnlyFans. His aims are also supported by a primary greed drive. He has been criticized for changing his opinions based on monetary incentives. He also shows primary boredom doing random activities during the podcast stream like rank ordering junk food or talking with sex workers over the phone Howard Stern style. He likely has regret given his proactive nature and his tendency to doubt his own conclusions. His regret may not be a stable drive and may switch to resentment, as he often attacks guests or trolls the internet to get a response. Hila is Ethan's baby mama. She is primarily concerned with their kids, but also likes to do in the show for fun. She designs merch for their empire and her designs are whimsical and genuinely creative. She is driven not just to sell but by her own enjoyment of the process. Hila shows a strong attachment drive as she is affected by the mood of her husband and always cares for his feelings before saying what she feels herself. She also shows a compassion drive, showing care for strangers, being interviewed by being careful with her words and making sure her husband doesn't push them too far. Hila also has boredom, as she likes the undirected and random nature of the shows they produce. Jake Paul is a wild guy. He is mostly driven by monetary incentives and has a finance aim. He makes pushes for merch sales in obnoxious fashion and organizes fights with MMA greats to sell out stadiums. He also wants to have a great time, all the time. He surrounds himself with variety in everything: food, destinations, and women. He has primary lust as he enjoys creating chaos and trashing things. Combined with primary ego, he can make this impulse performative, inviting everyone to watch him fight. He pushes for fast results and gains for everything he does, pointing to a third drive of primary greed. MrBeast is the #1 influencer on Earth. An attention grabber par excellence. A lot of this has to do with his life direction and what he strives for, which is fun. While he has some formula for the way he apparently gives away a ton of money, he also experiments and incorporates variety. While he often looks like he is throwing spaghetti at the wall, he is at the same time calculative. His second aim is hierarchy. He wants to maintain his social rank by whatever means are effective. He is constantly working, but often already clearly bored with what he's doing, which lends a particular humor. He can give away very large sums of money without it stimulating him in any obvious way. It can seem at times that even extreme situations or reactions don't really touch him. The last drive he exhibits is greed. Though he gives money, he makes a lot more and plans to continue doing so. Joe Rogan is the everyman's man, a cool guy with interesting ideas. Joe has a competence aim as he is going toward increased understanding in multiple domains and to continually improve in providing a forum for reasoned dialectic. His second aim in our system is community, which means he cares about the direction society is going and wants to inform and elevate the masses. He has a primary lust drive showing marked taste for lurid expressive displays and a tendency to crudeness and expressions of sexuality in an otherwise serious context. He also has primary ambition displayed as prodigious output and consistently relaxed pace of his interviews. He has a systematic approach to his show which helps him maintain his energy levels. Joe has also developed primary principles over time, as he is ready to take heat for his more controversial opinions. Joe also shows secondary boredom which is evident in the way he jumps from topic to topic and his insatiable curiosity. Joe has become a more balanced profile over time, shifting from a more proactive profile to a more central position as he matured. Jordan Peterson is the guy who tells everyone to clean their room. He is a competent psychologist with a competence aim. He is directed toward maintaining his dignity in the face of social pressures. He also has an aim we term spirituality, which is less about religion and more concerned with self-transcendence and making life meaningful. People with this combination of aims seek to make themselves a model of virtue that others might be able to follow. He clearly has a principles aim, as he is ready to suffer losses due to his strong beliefs. He also sets his ideas down as rules in books concerning the useful principles of life. Jordan also has primary ambition as he is able to carry on with multiple careers at once as a writer, psychologist, and popular podcaster. In recent years, he has developed a regret drive. He has had to deal with major upheavals in his personal life and had health complications. Increasingly, he is emotionally reactive to criticism. He has become increasingly emotionally reactive to criticism and at times seems disproportionately emotionally dysregulated, particularly for a trained clinician. Leah Shelesh has a popular gaming and reaction channel and is famous for her down-to-earth but aesthetically playful presence. She has a finance aim and knows how to rake in the dough. She also wants to have fun, seeking a variety of experiences. Her fun aim is supported by a primary boredom drive, as she is willing to pick up and drop different activities as her whims allow, taking her audience along with her. She also has primary ego, enjoying drawing attention with cosplay dressing and other antics. Her activities and dress-up games can sometimes head in a wild direction, making her third primary drive lust. Her content is generally seen as relatively wholesome. A peek at her Instagram or OnlyFans reveals more adult themes. She also seems to have a secondary greed drive augmenting her finance aim. Logan Paul is impulsive. His main aim in life is to have fun or seek a lot of novel experiences. He took over 4,000 Polaroids in 99 days. He enjoys jet setting and seeing the most beautiful places on Earth. His second aim is hierarchy as he wants to rise in the ranks of the world's most influential people. He saw a way to increase his status and credibility through WWE alongside his podcast. Logan has an extreme drive we call lust in the system. Lust at maximum levels creates carelessness or an inability to care about the consequences of one's actions. This was clear from the beginning of his career, particularly with his behavior in Japan, and in other locales where he acted the part of the obnoxious tourist. He also clearly has a boredom drive as he does activities between more goal-directed behavior just for kicks. He also has primary ego and is happy to have the spotlight, whether that's in the sports arena or just in a group of people hanging out. Matt Rife is the model comedian who just got his girl fans mad. His aims are friends and family. Matt wants to support his close ones and has an extremely social overall profile without any inner drives. This gives him a lightness. He has a primary ambition drive evidenced by his untiring work ethic from a young age, starting from small clubs and TikTok to selling out large venues. He has a primary ego drive, which is standard for his line of work. He is very stylish and has the presence of a model, and he is aware of how his looks affect his charisma. Matt also has a lust drive which lends him the ability to improv crude jokes and a fearlessness about the subject matter of his humor. Matt Walsh is a political commentator with a hipster appeal. His priorities in life revolve around his family, but he also wants to have fun, which means seeking out novelty. He clearly has an ambition drive as he is consistent in creating content including short films. He is literally willing to go the extra mile for his work, filming part of his What is a Woman documentary in rural Kenya. He also has primary principles as he is concerned with the basic logic of beliefs and is willing to take criticism for his own. He also has primary resentment as he is clearly annoyed with the current cultural climate and agendas. He tends to use his annoyance or anger in a comedic way. He also shows secondary boredom as he covers a very wide variety of topics, reacting to all kinds of content. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our content, please think about backing the project on Patreon or Subscribestar. We'd also love to hear your thought in the comments below.